Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Radhe.
Jaya Radha Murli Radha Radha Murli Radha Shri Radhe.
Jaya Gaura Chandra, Jaya Gaura Chandra, Jaya Gaura Chandra, Jaya Gaura Chandra.
Jaya Gaura Chandra, Jaya Gaura Chandra, Jaya Gaura Chandra, Jaya Gaura Chandra.
Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada.
Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo.
Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura.
I was trying to let the air out of it. Excuse me.
Nitai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Haribo. That one is not going to work.
Hare Krishna, welcome everybody. Thank you so much, first of all, to Krishna Chandra Prabhu for our wonderful kirtan. Thank you, Haribol. Welcome everyone to our weekly Sunday program, Bhagavat Sravana. So we hold this program every week, and to give you a little bit of the lay of the land, we just had some lovely kirtan and chanting. We will have a class today and some philosophy. We will then have some more kirtan and chanting with an arti ceremony. And then afterwards we'll have prasadam in the back, which is just vegan, sanctified food, and it's free. So please do stay. Before I introduce our wonderful speakers today, is there anybody who's new to this program? Oh, wonderful, welcome. Welcome, what's your name?
Shelby.
Shelby, welcome. How did you hear about the program?
Well, I usually go to the Friday Gita class,
Okay,
and I had
nice.
to miss it this Friday, and I'm like, I have to fill that with something, so
Oh, amazing.
yeah, so I'm really happy to be here.
Wonderful, welcome Shelby. And you, what was your name?
Juana.
Juana?
Yeah.
Welcome. How did you hear about the program, Juana?
I come to other programs and I just wanted to.
Oh, coming in, I love it. We're attracting for Sunday program. Wonderful, well welcome Shelby and Juana. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so today we have some very special speakers who are setting up, and I'm just going to pull up some information as well. Okay, wonderful. So, very excited to introduce our speakers this week. We have Jai Nitai and Bhava Bhakti Prabhus. Thank you, Haribo. They're going to be leading a class today, love the name, called Getting the Right Steps In, Lord Vamanadev Style. A+ for the title of the class. So as many of you may know, they have recently come to Bhakti Center from London to help establish a devotee care office and support community initiatives here at Bhakti Center, including this lovely Sunday program, Bhagavat Sravana. Prior to joining us in New York, they've held many service positions in London, including Jai Nitai serving as temple president for 10 years, and their joint seva establishing a devotee care office in Bhaktivedanta Manor, as well as traveling globally and preaching and training together. I know I speak for the entire Bhakti Center community when I say we are beyond blessed to have you both here, to have your association, your guidance, and your leadership, and to really demonstrate what it means to care for devotees and for their lordships. So please, a big Haribol for Jai Nitai and Bhava Bhakti Prabhus. Haribol!
And a big Haribol for MC Jenna. So if I'm not mistaken, is this your first time emceeing?
First time.
Well, here. But for those of you who don't know, she's a professional, trained in performing arts.
Professional
So,
MC.
and nice to have so many wonderful guests here with us today. And what a wonderful team, and also thank you, Krishna Chandra Prabhu. Last week was your first time leading kirtan here in the temple room, and this week second time, and it was like ecstatic. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, opportunity is what makes the world go round. Okay, so we're going to start with a few prayers before we begin. These are known as the Mangal Acharya prayers. Those of you who know them can please join in. And if not, then you can meditate on the transcendental sound vibration. Primarily, we're just invoking a mood of deep gratitude and appreciation to our teachers, those who have guided us along the way, persons who have had positive influence in the direction of our life spiritually or otherwise, however that works for you. Om Jnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Shah Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Bhagavatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Saivetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Shah Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabantu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrindavanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpataruyascha Kripa Sindhubhye Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. So we're very grateful and honored to be here with all of you. And once again, thank you very much for taking your valuable time to travel all the way from wherever you have come from. Some people have come from as far as New Jersey.
Wow.
Can you believe that? So, okay, our topic today is getting your steps in. Who here has trouble getting their steps in? Right. How many? 10,000? Isn't that the recommended number of steps? 10,000 steps? Mama and Dave gets all his steps in 3.
So, as you might have guessed, it's a play on words. Okay, we're not really, that's the title again. But I think
Gonna be a lot of play happening today.
So, you want to talk about steps, so that's word is going to be repeated a lot in this presentation, and it was about your steps on this path of bhakti and getting your steps in, and what possibly stops you from getting those steps in, what stops you from moving forward, maybe taking a detour even. So it's like a different approach to getting into this pastime, but hopefully it will ignite something when you think, maybe I should read that again, or read it for the first time, or just get into it. So it's just, in one sense, talking about the pastime, but in a hopefully interesting way.
Okay, so the way we like to give talks is that we don't talk. So the less we talk, the better. So our question to you is, who was Vamanadev? Yes, Ari.
A dwarf brahmachari.
A dwarf brahmachari. Okay. I guess you could say that in the modern day and not get in trouble. So you got a dwarf brahmachari. Okay. Anyone else would like to add to it? Anything more than just a dwarf brahmachari? Yes, Sham.
Was he an incarnation of Krishna?
Now that was a question. That wasn't a definitive answer.
I think, was
Who,
it?
who thinks he was an incarnation of Krishna? Who's not sure? And who thinks no? Okay. All right. So I think the yeses have it. And so the answer is yes. So he was definitely an incarnation. In the Dasa Avatar Stotra by Jai Goswami, thank you. Vamanadev is which out of the 10? Which incarnation? Anyone knows?
The fifth one.
Fifth one? Okay. Who was number 1?
Matsya.
Matsya. Number 2?
Kurma.
Kurma.
Varaha. I'll let someone else answer.
Oh, well, you're doing pretty good.
Thank you.
Varaha. And then 4th?
The Shringadev.
The Shringadev. And then 5th was?
Vamana.
So if you think about it like this, Matsya is a fish, lowest species of life. Then it goes to Kurma, reptile. Then it goes to Varaha, who is the boar incarnation. Then it goes to Narasimha, who's half man, half lion. So you start to enter into the human species. And then the first one after that is Vamanadev, who is a person who throws the mop around and pays attention and assaulting our guests. No, that's not Vamanadev, that's a different incarnation. So then you get into Vamanadev as kind of a dwarf human. And then after that,
Parashuram, the Brahmin warrior.
yes, Parashuram, and then it goes on like that. Okay, so Vamanadev. Any more about Vamanadev anyone would like to say? You've said enough. I'm just going to lay it out on the line. You've got a very big voice and you've spoken enough. So let someone else have a go. We're going to have to zip you up for a little while.
Yeah.
Yes. But I appreciate your enthusiasm. I'm sorry to pour water on the
that's
fire.
okay, that's okay.
Yes. Someone else raise their hand? Okay, looks like it's you. Okay, yes.
We're all scared.
They're all scared. Okay, I got it. That's the effect.
He had a conversation with a king named Bali Maharaj. There was a demon king actually, but he was a devotee also. Somehow he came from a lineage of the king, not Vamanadev. But so he had this conversation with this king, Bali, and but Bali was a great devotee, even though that's a whole other story. Okay.
One fact is good.
Just take a deep breath. And then Vamana was like, hey, king, can I have just 3 steps of land?
Okay, beautiful.
From the king.
So Vamana had a nice conversation with a king who was a devotee but yet a demon, and Vamana asked for just 3 steps of land. Beautiful. I think that kind of leads on to the next one, which is what did he do? So what did Vamanadev do? He asked for
3 steps of
3 steps of land from a Demon king, who was a devotee.
He was a devotee.
Gotta
Came from a
get all
special
3
lineage.
points in there. He was a demon king who was also a devotee. So everyone's with us. Who here is not familiar with the pastime of Vamana Dev? Please raise your hand. Okay. So I hope those who aren't familiar are getting a good idea. They're like, whoa, this is weird. So, okay, yeah, a demon king who's a devotee, and Vamana asked for 3 steps of land. And why did he ask for 3 steps of land? Yes?
So, because
If
Bali
you
had
dare.
taken over the entire universe,
Okay.
and the demigods had gone into hiding. So he had done he was living as demon, but living in the spiritual planet. And then, actually, and at this exact part, so I'm very excited. But I didn't actually get to the part where he surrenders. But basically, I finished reading.
Spoiler alert, spoiler alert.
Sorry. Where Aditi prayed for her sons, who are the demigods, for protection. So then that's as far as I read. But then Vamana comes and Bali surrenders.
Okay, so beautiful. This wonderful backstory there. So this demon king who's a devotee had defeated the demigods. So often you have the good guys and the bad guys. So proverbially in the Bhagavatam, you have this regular conflict between those who have a propensity to not really care about consequences and the cost of things, and they'll get what they want, whatever it takes. I'm sure no one here in this room has that in their heart, but you might know a few people like that, right? And then there's the other people who are they also want things, but they're willing to kind of do it in a way that is more good or moral and proper, and they have a dedication to God or the Supreme Lord. Now you mentioned one thing that Bali Maharaj is the king's name, Bali, and he took over the entire universe. So he wasn't just like the King of England. God bless him. God save the king. He wasn't just the King of England, but he was the king of the entire universe. But that didn't include the spiritual planets.
Oh, it didn't?
It was the heavenly spheres. The heavenly spheres, the earthly spheres, and the hellish planets. So all the 14 planetary systems. But it didn't include the spiritual world. There's only one ruler there.
Yeah.
Then you can't quite take that over. As much as we try to take over, Prabhupada, what did he say? We want the kingdom of God without God. So it's kind of like that. So Bali Maharaj was in charge of all of this, and he had done that by defeating the demigods. And the mother of the demigods was named
Aditi.
Aditi. And the mother of the demons is Diti. Her name is Diti. And they're actually sisters. And they're married to the same guy. So like that. So one had all the demons, one had all the demigods. But Aditi was so upset that her sons and the demigods had been defeated that she prayed to the Supreme Lord. And the Supreme Lord said, don't worry. I will take birth as Vamana Dev, and I will assist in getting the heavenly spheres back for the demigods. And so it comes to this point of Bali Maharaj, who's the king, the demon king, who's a devotee, who took over the whole universe. And Vamana Dev, this little dwarf that enters, dwarf brahmachari, someone said a dwarf brahmachari, but he was also a Brahmin, which is very important. So when he approached the king, kings in general serve Brahmins, and they're willing to offer them any boons or benedictions and charity, whatever they ask. So when he approached, then he said, you can have anything, whatever you like. And a little dwarf, you can imagine a little person. Most of us are short, relatively, compared to basketball players. So, you can imagine how much space can a person with such short legs cover. And he said, I only want 3 paces of land, 3 steps. And Bali Maharaj said, I can give you whole kingdoms. I can give you entire planets, planetary systems. I can give you riches beyond your imagination. Why are you just asking for 3 steps of land? And Vamana said, I'm happy with just 3 steps. And who remembers what his 3 steps entailed? So the first step, what did the first step cover? Yes.
Either the upper or lower planetary systems.
Yeah, the upper planetary systems.
Both.
Both. Second step? Exactly. There had to be something left for him to cover.
Right.
So I think as he covered the entire, maybe the entire upper planetary systems, then the second step it covered the rest of the universe. Something like that. You're reading it, or you didn't get to that
Yeah,
point.
no, I just finished that.
But in his first step, it also pierced the
Oh, spiritual sky.
the Ganga came through, pierced the Karna ocean, and that poured through onto his feet, and that water that came through became known as the Ganges, the Ganga, which many people are bathing in right now. And we're also bathing in it because we're talking about it. So, and then he had a third step left, and where did that go? Yes,
On top of his head,
on whose head?
the king.
The king, yes, yes. So he was left and he said, now you've got nothing left. I've taken everything from you in 2 steps. What are you going to offer me now? And he said, I don't have anything left to offer you because you've taken everything. And then he said, yes, I do have something left to offer. And that is myself. So please place your 3rd step on my head, like that. Okay, so I think that more or less covers the story.
Actually, one quick question. Because you say he's a demon devotee king. So, do we know why he's a demon devotee king? Like, who's his grandfather? Bali Maharaj's grandfather.
Bit of family lineage here. Anyone knows?
Was it Prahlad?
Prahlad Maharaj. So he's got some good genes, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Dad's side. But to be fair, his great grandfather is.
Hiranyakashi.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a debatable family lineage.
Everyone's got that black sheep in the family, you know.
I
Wow.
think Hiranyakashi was a little more than a black sheep. But yeah.
So in terms of Bali Maharaj allowing, as we were saying, okay, so the final step where you're going to put it, or you're going to put it on my head, it's interesting because he could have fought against that in one sense. He could have been like, I don't know where you're going to put it, but I'm going on me. But he could have retreated. And it's interesting that when Krishna steps towards us, and it's all good, it's positive, I've got my friends, I've got the service is going well, life is good, the chatting, I get my rounds, we're okay with those steps. You know, we welcome those steps. And it's interesting that when we're put in a Bali Maharaj type situation where it's like, you know, things are getting a little bit too uncomfortable now, and I don't know if I like this path, or at least the people on it, or one particular person or something, you know, then we may retreat. Then we may like, wait, why haven't you been around for a while? Yeah, I'm just taking a break. Really, I'm just taking a break when he does speak towards me, you know, I'm not sure about this. So it's interesting just to think about that how do we accept the steps from Krishna in the different ways? That when it's going well, yeah, I like it when he's walking towards me. But when it gets a little bit heated, as it were, what do we do? Do we take that approach of Bali Maharaj or otherwise? And which we'll explore later. So generally, the first step in anything that we do is, they say, the hardest. It's like to make the decision, like, I'm going to get really fit and healthy. Okay, great. And then actually walking into a gym, for example, is hard. It's just to do that. Or even if someone says, well, come with me, let's go for half an hour walk every day. That's hard. to actually do it. So the first step, you could say, on this path of bhakti, as it were, it may be like, wow, that sounds great. Where do you go? What do you do? But actually to actively remain on the path and keep walking can be hard, can be challenging. So it's like, it's a question that we have to say, ask ourselves on a regular basis. You know, where am I going? You know, what is the path that I'm taking? And to regularly assess it. And that's what we're going to try to break down in terms of how we can approach Krishna with the right steps.
So, yeah, what's the saying? The journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. One small step for man. I'm sorry. But yeah, so anything with a step in it, we're going to
Get sticky.
So, yeah, we have to make a conscious decision to start. And sometimes that means we may also have to restart and reboot. And if those of you who were here for the new year, the first Bhagavat Sravana in the new year, we did a little ceremony where we had everyone look at. So I'm just wondering, who was here for that Sankalpa ceremony? Okay. Anyone still has their little band? Look at you. Okay. All right. Anyone remembers what their kind of Sankalpa was? Yeah? Anyone still working on that or thinking, yeah, okay, that's great. Well, I must say you're quite progressive. Many years ago, I worked in a call room for a gym, a fitness center. And November, December was like dead. And January to like February was, the phone rang off the hook. And then again, February, and they knew that at least probably 80% of the people who paid for the year in advance, they would only come in January, February, and by March it was pretty much done. So like that. It's not easy. That's why Vishnu is in charge of which mode? Mode of goodness, which means he's in charge of maintenance. So it takes a lot to maintain. Actually, sometimes it's difficult to start, but once we get started, there's like some enthusiasm. But then to maintain is also very difficult. So anyway, we have to sometimes set goals and look at different things. So we're going to discuss some approach here.
So we came up with 6 steps that we can take towards Krishna. In terms of assessing our lives, walking towards Krishna, that we thought might be helpful. It's not definitive in that, but these 6 steps we thought we can break it down and discuss how it may help us.
So the first one is instructions and how important it is to hear instructions. So who in the pastime of Vamanadev heard instructions? Do you remember, were there any instructions given? Can you remember that pastime? Where was the instructions coming from?
You mean to the king?
To whomever. Where were instructions in the pastime? What comes to mind first thing if you know the pastime?
Shukracharya speaking to Bali Maharaj.
Yes, Bali Maharaj, the king, he took instruction. Who did he take instruction from? He said Shukracharya. So who is Shukracharya? He was the king's guru, his minister. He was his advisor, and he gave him instructions. Now, this is an interesting point, because the instructions that Bali Maharaj gave to the king were good or bad or indifferent. What do you think? You all know the pastime, right? Or some of you? Well, he gave instructions that actually weren't so good. It was good in one sense. It was good from a material perspective and not from a spiritual perspective, because Vamanadev asked for 3 steps of land. But the Guru Shukracharya, he knew that this is Krishna, and with those 3 steps, he's going to take everything away. So let's figure out a way that you don't have to give him those 3 steps. And so this is the way sometimes when we want to get out of things, we figure out a way, oh, well, I said it like that, but what I really meant was, you know, or at least when I was a kid, if mom said no, then I would definitely go to dad. You know, so then it's like, but dad said yes, you know, and then you kind of figure it out. So like that, to get what we want, sometimes we'll manipulate. But the point here is that to make progress in spiritual life, we definitely need to take instructions. To make progress in material life, you need to have instructions. We need to take guidance. So we find those around us who can give us good instructions. Bali Maharaj had his spiritual master. He gave him instructions. Did Bali Maharaj follow those instructions?
No.
In the end, he didn't. No, he didn't follow those. He decided that no, the right thing to do is I made a promise, I gave my word, and now I'm going to fulfill on that. But Shukracharya wasn't very impressed. And the Acharyas, the great teachers, Srila Prabhupada explains in his purports that Shukracharya was motivated because he knew if everything got taken away from his boss, then he would be left with nothing. So inadvertently, he would be affected like that. And that's a kind of theme also in the Ramayana. That theme is there with Mamta. The reason that she starts to say all kinds of negative things is because she's afraid, I'm going to lose out. I'm going to miss out. So like that. So instructions are very important in our spiritual life. But finding the right people to get instruction from, or knowing when we might not be getting the best instructions. Jai Shri Bhagavat Sravana.
Yeah. So, Vandana, prayer. God already knows, in one sense, as we often hear, why do I need to pray? Or he knows what I want. Not necessarily what I need, but he knows what I want. It's like, and so why does he need to hear it? So we actually, what can help us in terms of going in the right direction on this path is humbling ourselves, as you could say it happened to Bali Maharaj, obviously, and actually speaking, or she was praying, speaking to Krishna about this. And you'll be surprised how that also creates clarity in the mind, because a lot of times it's a bit foggy and we don't know. So if you write it down for Krishna, it also helps yourself, or if you actually humble yourself to come in front of the deity, or even at home, I mean, we have pictures and that, you can pray, but actually if you're conscious that I'm praying to someone else, I'm asking someone else for help, and it also creates personalism on this path, which might sound a bit strange because it's a personal path, but you'd be surprised how impersonal it becomes through, I just jogged around, I read something, I ticked the box, I did some savor. But we forget the person involved in that. The person holy names, the person book, the person service. So it actually creates personalism on this path for us. So prayer is really important, especially if we make prayer our first response to a challenge or crisis and not the last resort, which tends to often happen as well. So you make it the first response that I need to speak to Krishna about this before I text my friend, put it on Facebook, and this happened and that happened. If we go to Krishna and actually speak to him, then it won't need to be that last resort, which can also be quite challenging because it may not occur how you want it to.
Third one, utsaha. What does utsaha mean?
Enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm. Yes, you said that so enthusiastic. Yes, enthusiasm. Yeah, if we want to make progress, it's an important step to make sure we're enthusiastic. Anyone here's ever done something they're not really so enthusiastic about? Maybe sitting here today is for you. You're like, yeah, see, check out favor, raise both hands. Yeah, he's bored out of his mind. Yeah, so it's, sometimes you don't like it, but you have to do it, right? But somehow it's very important, and Srila Rupa Goswami explains, and Prabhupada in his purports of the Upadeshamrita Nectar of Instruction, that nothing Nothing great was ever accomplished without enthusiasm. So we have to be inspired, enlivened by it. So sometimes we can do what's, the needful, and that's also important. Srila Prabhupada said the most important time to chant your rounds, to chant japa is when?
Early morning.
Early morning, yeah, but another time?
Challenging situation, something like
Yeah, he said when you don't feel like it.
that. Right.
Because sometimes it's easy to do things when you do like it. But in principle, we should become enthusiastic in our devotional life. We should find deep inspiration. And sometimes that might not be there automatically. It's something that we may need to try to generate. And that also can be done with others.
Shanti, or in this case, spiritual peace. And it's interesting that to have, like, say, spiritual peace, it doesn't mean that externally everything's going well and there's no conflict or issue. It's actually referring to the spiritual or the peace within, the calmness I feel within, that even about Bali Maharaj, and I can see this little dwarf was not quite what he was saying and losing everything here. But when you read the pastime, he actually fully surrenders. I mean, he didn't fight him, for example. He didn't get anyone else to do it. Because he had that conviction. Similarity with this one and one that's coming up with faith, but essentially it's having spiritual confidence within us that I can take this on, I can take this challenge, I can take these steps, regardless of what it's looking like from the outside to someone else. I've got that inner resolve, inner strength, as it were, to go forward. Yeah, it's interesting. One thing that, I don't know if this is it. Yeah, that Prahlad Maharaj did actually say to his great grandson, Bali Maharaj, look, you're getting a lot of grandson. You're getting a lot of power here, and prestige, and you need to be careful. You're taking over the demigod stuff. And initially, Bali Maharaj was like, so who's gonna do anything about that? And he's like, Lord Vishnu will come and take it. And he's like, what's Lord Vishnu gonna do to me? And then you can imagine, I'm just paraphrasing now, imagine Bali Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj like, I think I've got some experience of what Lord Vishnu can do to you. Or if you don't believe me, you can speak to your great grandfather, because he definitely knows what he can do. So it's interesting, initially he was feeling like that, but just because of that influence of his grandfather, when Bali Maharaj does come, he actually does have that inner strength and that faith and peace to understand, no, I'm actually okay, it's falling apart, but I'm actually okay for you to do this.
It's like anyone's heard the example of being the eye of the storm? It's like there's this huge storm, but then there's the eye. And you would think that would be the most intense place, but in the eye of the storm, it's actually all calm. And all around, everything is going like, whatever. In a big storm, it could be like a mile that way or a half a mile that way, and it's just madness. But in the eye of the storm, it's just okay. So to be able to generate that eye of the storm, but that's generated not necessarily just because of our control of our own mind, but we're devoted because we have taken deep shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, and we have deep levels of faith. That can also be created through Sangha. So with this good association, then we can make good decisions, we get good input, we get enthusiasm. Anyone here has ever felt like blah, but then you meet up with someone who's really inspired and you're like, yeah, because it becomes contagious, so it's like that. So Sangha is really, really valuable for all of these, and we can also gain confidence. Srila Prabhupada gave this nice analogy, one of Aesop's fables, that where this father, he had, I think, like 10 sons or something like that, and And he was getting older and the sons were growing up, and he could see that they would start to bicker amongst themselves. So one day he brought them together and he took a bundle of sticks and he said, you see this bundle of sticks, when it's together, it's very difficult to break. But if I separate them out one by one, then I can break all 10 sticks. And he said, so it's important that the sticks all stay together because that gives strength. And in that way, Srila Prabhupada came to New York and he started the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and he created a space where we could come together, like-minded people could come together from all different backgrounds, all different walks of life, and support and encourage one another. So this is that Sangha.
And in order to do these or carry on with these, go forward with these steps, you have to have faith. And faith, so if the step that is in front of you does not seem clear, because right now you do not have sufficient faith, we shouldn't let that scare us away. And if we go back up that ladder, as it were, we find someone that does have faith, that comes in the Sangha, and that's the strength of that. And we actually draw from that. And also faith, as we saw with Bali Maharaj, it means, whether you like it or not, coming out of your comfort zone. Really, and it actually requires a test, basically. And we could see with Draupadi herself, initially, she was trying to save herself and being, trying to hold on and maybe appeal to the people that weren't helping her. And it's only when she actually stepped outside of that comfort zone to deep within just draw upon the faith that she personally had for Krishna, that he reciprocated accordingly to what her faith was and saved her. So the first tentative step has to be there. And as Prabhupada says often, that if you just take one step towards Krishna, he will take how?
Hundreds, thousands,
10.
10.
10.
I've heard different things. I've heard different things.
It takes a lot. many more than you think.
They're 10 big steps.
It takes 3 steps, Prabhu, you missed it.
So the point is, we have to take that initial step towards him first.
Okay. Now we're going to have some group work.
This is where everyone steps out the room. Again.
This is where the steps are like out of your comfort zone. This is where you are no longer the audience, you become active participants.
So, I've got a good help.
Yeah, we're used to them having, look, you can't run away.
Sadhu,
so
Prabhu, and Jagat. I need to do pronouns and try to style it out. Oh God. Okay, so we're going to split you up into, first of all, you do not have to take part in this group work. I have to stress that. You can be part of the group, but you don't have to actively, there's no pressure at all. Some will...
What she's trying to say is, please be active in the group, but if you feel awkward, you can also not be active in it. But the group will have to do something, and you don't have to necessarily do that.
Yeah, please. So I've just, because I feel very strong about myself to say it. So let's split you up into 3 groups.
We're going to do this in the way that is always fun. I'm just going to point and go 1, 2, 3, because we're going to try to split up families now. Anyone who's in a family, we're going to split you up. So 1?
1.
Oh. Nay. 2.
1,
2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Jenny?
Me? Oh, sorry. 1.
I guess 2.
1.
I said 3.
Behind you, Angel is sleeping, I think.
Just don't worry, I'm up.
Okay. What was your number, Brew?
You said 1, right?
What?
You said what number?
What was your...
2.
It was 2. Yeah. And Prabhuji?
I forgot my number.
You're 1.
And Prabhuji?
Because I'm 1 and I remember.
Pass? Okay. Sham?
2. 1.
1.
2.
Okay, and in the back, you're 3. Prabhuji, next to, yes, you're 1. 3. Well, that was well spoken. I appreciate it. Okay, so 1s are going to be over here, 2s over here, and 3s back there. So you can move around the 2 rooms.
That seems like the work. That was the work, right? Just splitting
I
up
think
and
we
counting.
did it.
I think we did it.
We're used to only having 10 people in the room, not like 30.
You're a crowd.
So please, if you can get into your groups as quickly as possible. So 1's over here, 2's over here.
Gosh, I hope our referee team, I'm amazing today.
Okay, so now we're gonna tell you what you should be doing.
Chair, we did this with them before, sometime in groups like this, right?
Think you were a 2 with the white hat, right? But if you're comfortable there, then stay, no problem. All right.
Okay, so,
Spread out a little bit so this.
alright, so group 1.
Whoa!
That was part of the program.
Okay.
That was a leap, not a step. So group 1, first of all, the activity, and again, so as I say this, some people may freak out, but you don't have to do it, but just is to put on, and very quickly because the curtains are is to put on a very short 1-2 minute skit. Wow. Yeah, skits in
Yeah. Just don't say drama because then it'll be
Well,
It's a skit.
and whoever, maybe someone can make a note of what I'm gonna say because they're different skits for each. So group 1, your skit is someone, so I'm gonna speak, but someone has to be as well. You are Bali Maharaj, someone has to be Bali Maharaj, and you see the 3rd step coming towards you. What do you do? So obviously there were other people in the arena, so it's not that it's just 2 people that needs to act, if that makes sense. So you are Bali Maharaj, the 3rd step's coming towards you. What do you do? And how you interpret that is totally up to you.
And you can use artistic license.
Yeah.
Group 2.
Group 2, which is right. You are the bystanders in the arena, because there were lots of kings and princes. Oh, God. And you see Vamanadev taking that big 3rd step. Share what you do and discuss with your fellow bystanders. Like, what's the talk in the stalls, as it were, as you're watching this going down?
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
In group 3, you are Sukra Acharya, and you approach your disciple to tell him, do not trust that little dwarf man, basically.
Okay,
And
does
use
that make
as many
sense?
people as you want in that if anyone's over listening and doing what they need to do. Does that make sense? Yes,
What,
you
so
do.
for group 1, if it's just Bali Maharaj and Vamnadev, then what are the other people in group?
Like I said, there are
That
other
is for
people.
you to figure out.
Okay.
No, there are other people in yeah.
He's super intelligent, so I'm sure he'll come up with a whole role for everybody.
And
Okay,
you
you've got
have-
exactly 5 minutes to
5
prepare
minutes,
your
5
drama,
minutes, 5
your
minutes.
skit.
Who wants to be Bali Maharaj? Well, no one wants to be Bali Maharaj, no one wants to get stepped on.
Okay, good, you got on. So, what's your,
Just like an expression of shock, like a shock emoji. Frozen in time.
I'll be a displeased girl.
So who's gonna be next?
Okay, classic problem, we can start with right
I'll be
Slowly.
Well, someone has to be, like, recommendation for, I guess, I mean, I don't think we have a food cost.
How long are we supposed to last?
1 minute.
He was amazing.
You never know.
He's looking more and more.
No, not
We need to make a space here.
Krishna.
And then he works his own behind him.
Do it where they are.
No, but I think it should be, I think it should be like, you can start with.
Yeah, we can. Okay, so our theater pro here is.
Right. He doesn't return. So there could be a little bit of louder than
So
he
someone
asked.
can be Krishna and someone can be
So pretty much hear them.
and that way we practice.
But this is not what I was expecting.
Yes, no. Well, the thing is, it's one of those tricky.
You're just the bystander.
Yeah.
Like, well, you got like, let's play right now.
He spends a money and does this.
Okay, Lord,
He got 10 seconds to figure it out.
And then like you see Krishna
Like,
putting
just like fall back.
well actually
And then
before he
we-
puts the
Yeah.
steps,
Yeah,
right?
I'm the one that's gonna.
This way.
I think all I got was just
This is like a, this is like a.
well, she gave that third type of observation.
Okay, yes, good. And I have
So I'm sorry.
and then
We're basically
there
asking
should be a narrator.
to play in like 3 minutes.
Because then the like, and then
So we all come.
I'm just going to observe.
my life is ruined.
But wait, we have to wait till we're ready, so we're not ready to do it. I'm not gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
My life is ruined, they're gonna leave my
When
door!
we come up and we all sort of like, say, like.
Do you want to stand?
Yeah, I
Yes,
don't know.
okay.
But it's-
And then, put it on your
You
head.
want to stand?
And, something like that.
There's energy in standing.
Yeah. Yes, it's a shame like that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
so,
It's like they're not active.
Yeah.
Like, you know, just kind of walk away. We've also got aspects of learning, I'm gonna figure it out.
I wish I had like a light here or something.
Because we are part of it, when we are the audience, we are part of the court of Bhava Bhakti. So we are his.
Yeah, just let it go, like, free falls.
Group 1.
That's, I mean, we've seen this.
Like,
Relax.
okay, good, this
I'm not really sure.
Relax.
Okay, wait, hold on. I just
We're on stage, you know,
Full back.
but yeah, it's fine. I think he just wants to make it just like that. Like, so maybe.
Okay,
Big strong guy.
okay.
He catches him alone. When you go down, then just, he just keeps ranking, put him back up. Yeah, just like that. You just catch him up, then pop him back up. And we're all kind of looking maybe
Well,
up.
let me check with my advisor. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, one day, walk in a day.
My life is ruined!
Yeah. And then don't fight, put it back up.
And then what should I say?
I don't know. Provider, I am yours.
I'm yours, Lord God.
to the king.
Which
Your
one?
face is
Which one has?
No, like you have to work it out. Maybe like the
One day.
Okay, Hare Krishna everyone.
What do you want to shout?
Hare Krishna, so, yes,
You want to do a gesture? You want to do a gesture?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay,
Or maybe start with like.
if I could have everyone's attention, that includes yours. So, fortunately or unfortunately, or I'm thinking maybe fortunately, otherwise these could turn into a whole new Bhagavatam. So we're going to now go to the performance, okay? The performance part of the program. And what we felt would be easiest is if you do your drama or do your skit where you are. So do it where you are. We're not going to create a whole stage area. So then, but everyone can be seated and not talking, giving full attention to each of the dramas. You should be able to see them. If you're back there, you should be able to see this drama from here. You can see, so like that. So group number 1 is going to perform their skit first, because you're number 1, right? So, are you ready? Now, of course, this group is really fortunate because they've got like, Yadunatha Prabhu. Okay.
We'll let you fall down.
So, you ready?
Yes.
On 3. 1, 2, 3, action!
Be careful,
This
be careful.
is not one step. Lord Vamanadev, I am yours. What the? What?
His foot is on his head.
I fully surrender to you, Lord Vamanadev. This is it?
That's it?
Hey, big round of applause.
Thanks.
I mean, Valley Nards looks more like Vamanadev, but anyway. Okay, group 2. Okay, are you ready, group 2?
1, 2, 3. Don't do it.
Do it.
Save our king, please. Ramandev, don't kill him.
Yeah, I think he should do it. He should surrender.
Don't do it. Don't
Maybe
do
he
it.
shouldn't. I don't know. What do you think?
No, take him in.
Nothing
He's
happens
the
with
incarnation of Krishna.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Haribo! So for those of you who have just joined and you're like, what is going on here? This is supposed to be like our place, right? So we've been discussing the pastime of Vamanadev, and group 1 was performing what it must have been like for Bali Maharaj when Vamanadev was stepping on his head. And group 2 were the onlookers who were around in the arena at that time and what they might have been saying. And you could hear there was mixed opinions. Don't do it, forget it, just get out of it. No, he's an incarnation. So it was very, very good. And group 3 is the conversation between Bali Maharaj and Shukracharya and how that's going to work out. So group 3, you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
One day, an incarnation of Krishna, Lord Vamanadev, came to King Bali.
Respect to my humble king. Can I have 3 pieces of land in your large kingdom?
Why so little? How about an entire kingdom or planet?
All I need is just 3 steps of land.
Don't do it. Don't do it. He's small, but his steps will cover the whole universe.
It looks pretty innocent to me.
You're gonna ruin your whole kingdom.
Think about it again.
I feel pretty good about this decision. Yeah, you can have 3 steps of land. Least I can do for you.
I think you're gonna be in trouble.
Well, I already gave him an answer. You don't really need to give me any more advice at this point.
And it's scene.
Is that it?
That's
Yes.
it.
I think Shukracharya expanded himself into many.
You already made your, I already made my
That's
decision.
my favorite part.
Okay.
You don't have to give me more.
Yes.
Big round of applause for all of this. Okay. So you can resituate yourselves. So we're just going to conclude because the RT is going to happen in literally a minute. So the conclusion is that there were all these different steps, but actually the group work, the goal wasn't the skits. The goal was for you all to kind of work together, get to know each other, and that's something that we found over the years really makes a big difference when you actually have like a group activity and you all kind of get to mix and mingle. Although we have some shining stars we could see coming through in the group here. So don't forget the steps, get instructions, pray to the Lord, do it with enthusiasm, find that inner space of peace and confidence, have good sangha, and cultivate and develop deep faith. So these are our steps towards Krishna. So get your steps in, the vomit away. Hare Krishna.
Jai Nitai, Bhava Bhakti ki Jai! Thank you so much to our speakers for such an informative and engaging and participatory class. The curtains are about to open. We will have arti and more kirtan and chanting. So if you could please help by clearing the cushions and folding up the chairs, that would be wonderful. Thank you so much. Haribol.
Nice. Wow.
So many chairs.
He's
Like
strong man.
Superman.
Strong man.
Krishna Shriva Paramahamsa Karva Vichars both for the focus Congress A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Skam founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki EVT founder Srila Prabhupada Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Sikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Govina Shama Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhana Ki Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Mayapur Navadvip Dham Ki Ganga Maya Ki Jamuna Maya Ki Tulsi Devi Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Shri Shri Radha Murlidhar Ki Gaur Chandra Bhagavan Ki Harinam Sankirtan Ki Sankirtan Yagya Ki Priyamadaga Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai Nitai Gaura Premanandi all glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the lotus feet of Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namaste, Narasimhaya. Namaste, Narasimhaya.
Thank you all so much. Thank you, Akeshwar and our chanters and Kirtanias for bringing us such bliss. So now, before we go back, we will have some prasadam. Again, it's vegan, sanctified food. We also invite you, there is opportunities to make donations. This is a completely free program and we run on your support, so we so appreciate that. Before we head back to have our feast, I will pass it over to Jai Nitai to share a few upcoming opportunities to engage at Bhakti Center.
Hare Krishna. So, just to keep you all posted of things that are happening. So we've just had many festivals in the month of Magh, the month of February. Many things happen. We have one more festival coming up just before February ends, which is next Friday. And we've introduced some smaller festivals because all of you seem to like partying so much that you say, can we have more parties? So Srila Prabhupada said, actually, that there are enough festivals, and in the spiritual world they say every day is a festival. So he said we could have a festival every day, but we're not going to do that just yet. We're working on it. So the appearance day of Jagannath Das Babaji, who is just, if you see above Srila Prabhupada, there's a lineage here. So you have Srila Prabhupada, his guru's guru, and then his guru's guru, and then after that there's another one that is often sometimes depicted, Jagannath Das Babaji. So next Friday, if you have some time, we're going to celebrate that in the morning. We'll start at 11 and we'll go up until 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, something like that. And we'll have some katha, we'll have some kirtan, bhajans, and then we'll have pushpanjali, offering of flowers to Jagannath Das Babaji, and then we'll have a feast, and after the feast we're going to have a harinam. For those of you who don't know, that means we all get together and we go out and chant and dance on the streets. We had a few devotees who came with us last time for the first time, right? How was it? Amazing. It was amazing. Even she was leading, and she hardly could speak right now. You know? So it's really ecstatic. And when you go out and you dance, you chant on the streets, people see it and they see happy people and they think, oh, I can be happy too. It's great. So good like that. So that's next week. After that, we're heading into some of the biggest festivals of the year. And a very exciting one that will be happening on the 8th of March, which is a Saturday, is the Radha Muralidhar Flower Festival. Yeah, you're all supposed to go, ooh. Okay, we're trying again. So on the 8th of March, Saturday, is Radha Muralidhar's Flower Festival. Okay, that was pretty good. Let's try one more time. Radha Muralidhar's Flower Festival. Yeah, now we're talking. Okay. So that festival will be in the evening time, and their lordships will be showered with flowers. We have many, many flowers that are coming. So leading up to the festival, we're introducing what we're calling Community Seva Days. So on the Thursday, the Friday, and the Saturday, we have opportunities for all of you to come and sit and pluck those flowers. Depetaling, someone called it. So we're going to depetal the flowers and create the beautiful baskets and buckets of flowers that we share with their lordship. So it's an opportunity for everyone to participate in the abhishek or the bathing ceremony of their lordship. So all of this is online. If you're not, who here is part of our WhatsApp group? Who here is not part of the WhatsApp group yet? Okay, so we need to get you connected. So we'll have a little WhatsApp, or what are they called, a QR code or something, that if you want to join the WhatsApp group, you can. And also, who's here is getting the newsletter from the temple? Who here isn't getting the newsletter yet? Okay, so kind of the same people. So we try to keep everyone posted on the different activities that you can be part of and different events that are going on. So please, if you are interested in being connected in that way, please come and speak to me and I'll make sure that you get connected. So you can sign up or you can just come along. It will be from about 3 until 8, I think, each of those days. And then on the Thursday, on the Friday, and on the Saturday, and then we'll clear up, and the festival itself will start around 4:30, something like that, 5 o'clock on the Saturday, okay? Does that make sense?
And what days are those volunteering opportunities?
Thank you. Once again, it's Thursday the 6th, Friday the
7th,
and Saturday the
8th.
Of March.
of March. Yes, of March. Don't come in April and you already missed it. 2025. Yes. Thank you for nailing it right down.
Is there a specific time to be there at those?
Yes. Do you have those? I put myself on the spot and I wasn't ready. I'm pretty sure you can come anytime during the day, but the designated times are. Well, you didn't set it up.
You know what? There's a link going.
Yeah.
So Thursday, 6th of March is 4 to 8.
4 to 8 p.m.
Friday, 7th of March is 4 to 8.
4 to 8.
And Saturday, 8th of March is 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
9 till 3 on the Saturday, because then we'll need to clear everything up and get ready. So it's like something close to like a ton of flowers.
500 pounds of flowers.
Huh?
500 pounds.
500 pounds of flowers.
And it is all wow.
It is all wow?
Wow, whatever you said.
So let's try it again. Okay, so that's the flower festival. And then a few days later will be a big festival on the, God, wow, that's right. Yeah, 13th, thank you. So on the 13th of March, 5 days later, will be another big festival, which will be Gora Purnima. So which is the appearance day of Lord Chaitanya. For those of you who don't know, you have Radha and Krishna. And next to them is Gora Chandra. So this is Lord Chaitanya, who is a form that appeared roughly 500 years ago, actually probably around 530 some years ago. And he is a combined form of Radha and Krishna, and he is the personality who came and started the Yuga Dharma of the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. So we're going to be celebrating his appearance day, and there will be a full day of festivities. We'll have festivities in the morning, and then focused also in the evening again, starting probably around 6:30, something like that, and going until around 9. All of this information is on the website. It's also being informed on the WhatsApp group and in the newsletter, so we want to connect you so you all know about it. After that, I think that is everything. Anything else that I missed? And there are lots of courses also starting. Our own Guru Sharam Prabhu has recently started a Bhagavatam study group and a Chaitanya Charitamrita study group. So many wonderful things that are happening, and we want you all to be connected and involved, so like that. Hare Krishna. Yes, what was the other thing? 29th of March, there's going to be an 8-hour japa chanting session here at the temple. So everyone is invited to come and chant as many rounds of japa as you can.
What time does that start?
It's going to start. I'm glad you're here. It's going from 9 until 5.
Okay, on March 29th.
On March 29th. It's a Saturday. Okay. All right. Again, it's all in the newsletter and on WhatsApp. Hare Krishna, thank you very much. So everyone could please go back and take the prasad.
Yeah, just like